friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the upcoming transit of planet Venus, which on November 30 will transit the sign of Libra, its own zodiac sign, its own Mool Trikona sign, and from November 30 till December 24th, it's going to be strengthened over here. So guys, the good part over here is that right after coming out of its sign of debilitation, not only Venus is going to be getting strengthened, but also during this time, it is going to be receiving the straight aspect from the planet Jupiter as well. So guys, in a way, it is kind of forming a yoga that whatsoever alliances you are going to form during this time, and also in order to have happiness on the account of relationship, taking some very good commercial decision, so this entry of Venus in the Libra can be seen as a very good indication. Like the way guys, I always say this thing that whenever we talk about all sort of happiness in the life, when we talk about how much you will gain on the account of females in the life and all those professions where charisma, limelight, recognition, appreciation is needed, Venus plays a very important role over there, and nothing could be better than that. If your line of work entails people management or public performances, being in front of camera, so then I would say that this transit will definitely going to support you. So guys, now we are going to be shifting our discussion customized to all the rising signs, and then we will try to look at that how this entry of Venus is going to be influencing all of us. So guys, starting first with the Aries rising natives. So guys, in your case, although Venus becomes a killer planet, carrying the rulership of the second house and the seventh house, and now it is going to be transiting in your seventh house. So definitely guys, whenever we talk about your financial concerns, whenever we talk about your commercial decision making, Venus plays a very important role over there. And also, like, let's say for example, for all those people who are eligible for matrimonial alliances and all, so this is going to be a very good indication. Your ninth house lord is already transiting in your first house. Over and above that, Venus getting strengthened in its own sign, in its own house, will definitely drive you towards right sort of prospective matches. Now guys, the good part over here is that the kind of yoga which is right now your ascendant lord has formed. So just because your ascendant lord is right now transiting in your 8th house, your 5th house lord is also transiting in your 8th house. So one thing is for sure, that whatsoever is gonna happen, it will happen in a very sudden, in a very unexpected way. So yes guys, let's say for example, for all those people, it hardly matters in which field you belong to, because for you specifically, Venus has a say in the matters of your finances. So it's a very strong indication that you are heading towards some very good time period of forming some very sustainable, very profitable alliances, and also in the matters of relationship, love, romance, camaraderie can be expected. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Taurus Lagna natives, definitely guys, in your case this transit will become very important because it is the transit of your ascendant lord. So your ascendant lord Venus is going to enter your 6th house on November 30. So definitely guys, like the way I always say this thing, that Taurus Lagna natives do not get the dosha of the rulership of the 6th house because it carries the energy of your ascendant lord. So one thing is for sure, that all the matters of your 6th house will start benefiting you during this time. Also guys, because right now your 7th house is in such a strengthened state, because see, when we talk about the significator, like Venus in itself is a significator of relationship, so your 7th house of partnership is already in a very strengthened state. Over and above that, your ascendant lord getting strengthened in the 6th house is a very good indication that you know, you will run into very like profitable people, you will run into all those people who will serve some purpose or who will contribute something towards your commercial goals. Along with that guys, if you are already going through any of the health related concern, any of the debt, loan, credit, or any of the conflict or dispute related concern, or if you have to appear or write any competitive exam, so I would say this thing, that just because wheresoever ascendant lord goes, it only has good things in store pertaining to the matters of that house. And just because it's your ascendant lord, so it will put your whole force, your whole energy. So yes guys, I'm actually looking forward to some improvement in your daily work life. And let's say for example, if you're running the dashas are favorable, you have done something very good, you have proven yourself, so this is also going to be a time of when you could be considered for a new role. You are going to get appreciated for your efforts, for your struggle, for your hardship. So overall, it's a very good transit for the Taurus Lagna natives as well. So in the matters of your relationship, definitely a upper edge you're going to have, and a supporting hand is going to come to you from the people around you. Now guys, moving ahead to all the Gemini rising natives. So guys, in your case, definitely Venus becomes a very important planet. It is a very good friend of your ascendant lord Mercury. So guys, as you can see this thing again, the kind of yoga which is getting formed for you guys as well. So Mercury is also going to be spending a lot of time very soon in your 7th house as well. So that in itself means that with your ascendant lord empowering your 7th house, and with Venus entering your 5th house, and Jupiter in itself is transiting your 11th house. So I would say this thing that it's a very good time for getting into any matrimonial alliances. So let's say for example, in whichever capacity it is getting applicable in your case, like you are single looking out for a prospective match for you, or let's say for example lately you have been having some issue in your matrimonial life, so improvement over there, experiencing that romance over there, blessings coming to you. Also guys, for pertaining to the matters of success or happiness or gain in reputation on the account of the success of your progeny and your child and all as well, this is going to be a very good transit of Venus in your 5th house. And again guys, because Venus in itself is a significator of romance, 5th house represents romance, and like the way I mentioned this thing, during this time it is not gonna be a case that it is going to drive you towards all those unhealthy relationship, because with your ascendant lord empowering the 7th house of relationship, Jupiter being there in the 11th house of wish fulfillment, aspecting this Venus, so that in itself means that you will actually attract very healthy, very constructive relationship in your life who will contribute something. Not only they will provide you happiness, but they will also add some value in your life as well. And also guys, pertaining to the matters of your I would say that interest in stock market, this is going to be a very good time. And also for all those people who are connected with art, entertainment, media, during this time, if you have to give any performance, any of your project is getting released during this time, so I would say that overall it's a very good transit for the Gemini rising natives. And guys, like the way I always say this thing, that 5th house also tells about the way your mind function. So with this kind of yoga, definitely you will be walking around with the olive branch in your hand. Like this is not a kind of a combination where, like, just because in your 6th house Mars, Sun, too many heated planets are transiting over there, so it is kind of a alignment that even if people around you are provoking you, instigating you, but your first impulse is definitely going to be of peace, of love, of adjustment. That is how this transit is going to be working out for you. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Cancer rising natives. So guys, in your case now, as you can see that Venus in your case becomes an important planet. It has got a rulership over your 11th house as well, and now it is going to be getting strengthened in your 4th house. That in itself means that all those people who are in any sort of comfort giving profile, you are in any of the interior decor business and all, or you are in the sale purchase of vehicles, graphic designing or beautification of any form, so this could be a very good transit, very good yoga for you. Because guys, as you know this thing that I'm looking at this transit in tandem, in synchronicity with how other planets are contributing. Your 5th house is already in a very strengthened state, so with Mars and Sun transiting in your 5th house, I'm very much sure that you will be very, right now you must be very eager and competitive to prove yourself. And with Jupiter already now devoid of any influence of Rahu, Jupiter being strengthened in your 10th house, and definitely it is in a retrograde motion, but by the end of December it will also come out of its retrograde motion, so it in itself means that things are improving for you. And again guys, when we talk about fourth house, apart from the tangible aspect of the attributes of the fourth house, I always say this thing, that in all of our houses, if there is one house which can give us experiences of luxury, that is the fourth house. So with Venus being in such a strengthened state, so even if it is not gonna grant you with the material benefits of it, because definitely for that we have to see the kind of yogas you have, the kind of dashas are operating, and along with that, what is it getting applicable in your case? Are you actually working in that direction or not? So even if all those things are not getting applicable in your case, but the feel good factor will definitely be experienced in the domestic life, like feeling happy, people around you trying to make you happy, or experiencing that love, harmony, sharing and caring for each other. So that is the kind of vibe which is getting generated for the Cancer Lagna natives. And definitely if you are professionally operating in the domain of vehicles or in the domain of like luxury goods, gift items and all of that, artificial jewelry, high-end luxury goods, if you are professionally dealing in these things, this is going to be a very, very blessed time for all those professionals. Moving ahead guys, now guys, for all the Leo rising natives, definitely guys, in your case, Venus becomes a very important planet. It has got a rulership over your 10th house and the 3rd house. That is the only reason lot many Leo Lagna natives tend to do very good in the field of performing arts or anything with art, entertainment, luxury, creativity, because in your case 3rd house of your skill and 10th house of your actions are being governed by this loving and beautiful planet. So definitely guys, Venus is now going to be transiting in your 3rd house. That in itself means that if you are a performing artist, you are a freelance person, you are a graphic designer, you are a dancer, you are a musician, so I would say that this is going to be a very blessed time for you. Definitely guys, in your case right now, if you will see in the transit during this time, it becomes more important because Venus is going to be getting straight aspect from the planet Jupiter as well from the 9th house. So let's say for example, if you are already doing something, because being an artist by myself, I keep on coming across all those people, like if there is any conflict happening in any part of the world, okay, I'm going to contribute my this performance for this charity, I'm going to run this marathon to support this charity. So that is also a very good way. Like I would suggest that if during this time you will use your art as a medium to inspire, to deliver some message, then this is going to benefit you very long term. Second thing is that beyond doubt, if you're working in the fields of sales, media, marketing, travel and tour business, or any of the PR related field, you are an artist, you are a painter, you are a designer, this is transit in the 3rd house can be seen as a very good indication, new connections, new collaboration. And the good part over here is that guys, during this time, if you will sign any contract, if you will sign any agreement, any new alliances you will form during this time, they will sustain you or they will help you, support you for a longer span of time. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Virgo Lagna natives. So guys, in your case now, as you can see this thing, that Venus is a very auspicious planet for you, a very good friend of your ascendant Lord Mercury, and now it is going to be getting strengthened in your 2nd house. So guys, one thing is for sure that because definitely 2nd house is the house of our finances. Whatsoever planet transit over there, the attribute of that planet contribute to our finances. So one thing is for sure that during this time, if in your line of work, like definitely you are dealing in the cosmetic products, you are dealing with the ladies garments or products, or any of the ladies or female accessories, or anything to do with the designing, with the music, if you are professionally operating in these fields, this could be a very beneficial time for you. The good part over here is that because Jupiter is going to be transiting it, aspecting it from the 8th house, so whatsoever gain is gonna happen, it will happen very suddenly. So again guys, it all comes down to individual to individual. Let's say for example, if you are professionally operating in this field, this is going to be a very profitable time for you. But let's say for example, if you're a kind of person who's a very impulsive buyer, so you have to restrain yourself. Like definitely any casual stroll in a mall might tempt you to spend more money. Like you will be very easily getting attracted towards the beautiful things and all. So that is something where you have to follow proper restraint and caution. And again guys, I always say this thing, that whenever the ninth house lord's energy also gets involved. So any of the charities in the name of the god, in the name of your faith and all, generally tend to remain very rewarding. Also guys, because Venus is going to be getting strengthened in your second house, so beyond doubt financially it is a very profitable time. Also, like generally I have seen that people tend to remain very soft spoken during that time. Like let's say for example, even if they are in a middle of any conflict, so they will be the one who will be very much willing towards compromise, adjustment, acting with empathy, seeing other people's point of view as well, and too much interest in food and sweet items and all of that. But overall guys, it's a good transit for the Virgo Lagna natives. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Libra Lagna natives. So guys, in your case definitely Venus is going to getting strengthened in your first house. So again guys, for the Aries natives and for the Libra natives, in terms of the relationship, you guys are heading towards some very good time. It's like one of the, like it is a yoga which is getting formed after so many years, because during this time Jupiter is aspecting it from the 7th house as well. So I would say that if you are single, you are on a lookout for a matrimonial alliances and all, so this is going to be a very good time for you. Again guys, that is how we say this thing, that this is how you get the indication. If you remember at the time when there were like those periods when your 7th house lord Mars was afflicted for a long time in your 8th house, ascendant lord was also weak, I mentioned this thing that if you have a knowledge of astrology, so you can fairly determine this thing that okay, whatsoever things are happening, people are suddenly entering in my life, how could you authenticate those people? Because if 7th house lord is in the 8th house, ascendant lord is also weak, Jupiter is afflicted, there's a strong chance that even those people who are coming in your life, they might not serve some purpose. They might be there to either misguide you, take advantage of you. So now if you will see that suddenly if some development is gonna happen, it will serve you, it is going to be good for you. That is something which I can assure you of. So that is on the account of relationship. For all those people who are single, on a lookout, it's a very good energy for you to attract someone who is going to be a proper relationship type. Second thing is that definitely guys, Venus is getting glorified in your first house. That in itself means that in whichever capacity you have to you're leading a team, you have to give any public performances, or in any of the leadership role, because Venus in the first house means that charisma and magnetism is there in your face. So whatsoever you will speak, whatsoever way you will conduct, people will be very much interested in you. So how you can utilize this surge of energy in your favor? I have already mentioned this thing guys, that when I did a research on my own, majority of the politicians all across the world, because it is already well accepted norm that many millionaires and billionaires are there out in the world because of the contribution of Venus, of the Libra and Taurus. But I was surprised, even many politicians, successful politicians, presidents are there with the contribution of the Libra. So that is the power and potency of the Libra sign of Venus. So that in itself means that if you are in a leadership role, you have to face people during this time, you will be able to impress people. Chances of that is very strong. Any of the decision which you will take in your line of work, in your business, because I'm taking into contribution the role of Jupiter as well. So in your line of work, this could be getting a new vendor, it is about getting some new service provider, or signing a new deal, getting into some new alliance, getting into some new partnership, any of the travel, initiating something very important during this time. Because if you follow our the Hindu rituals, so Dev Uthni Ekadashi, Lord Vishnu has also woken up from his sleep. So now onwards only all the auspicious events start happening, taking place. So overall it's a good energy, and in the specifically in the matters of your relationship, in the matters of your public image, and for initiating any important lifetime events and all, it's gonna be a harbinger of good news, this transit of Venus, for all the Libra Lagna natives. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Scorpio Lagna natives. So guys, in your case definitely Venus is going to get strengthened in your 12th house. So guys, just because it's kind of little bit vulnerable, although I am an advocate of this notion that house does not matter. If a planet is strengthened over there, exalted over there, even from that house of difficulty, good results can be extracted. But right now the vulnerability is that because your ascendant is very strong, and when it comes down to the Scorpions, they are very easily, they are very quick to get hurt, get offended, get into the mode of vengeance and all. So you already have Mars and Sun transiting there in your first house, and with Venus gaining strength and power in your 12th house. So yes, passion might suddenly be very high. So yes guys, and because the thing is that this entry of Venus, let's see again guys, it all comes down to individual to individual. If you are a very disciplined person who lives his or her life with complete integrity, and you have complete restraint over your instincts and impulses, then it's not gonna bother you. But the way I'm looking at it, because Jupiter is already there in the 6th, Rahu is influencing your 5th house of your thought process, Mars is very strengthened in the 1st house, and with Venus there in the 12th house. So this is a typical yoga where, driven by passion, driven by sensuality, people indulge into something wrong, people do something questionable things, and also this is also gonna increase your expenses as well. And let's say for example, if you get tempted towards something which you cannot afford, or which is not necessary or needed right now, but your ascendant in such a strengthened state, Mars and Sun in the 1st house, will also instigate or provoke you towards some very sudden impulsive spending as well. So I would say guys that definitely every transit has got its pros and cons, but when it comes down to weighing it, measuring it, the cons seems to be overwhelming right now. So definitely in the matters of your passion and all, and definitely I will not recommend indulging into something which is very secretive or these manipulative things, because Rahu in the 5th house will definitely drive you towards it. And with your ascendant being such a strengthened state, it also has got a string to pull the right kind of, right kind of cards as well. So do not indulge into something which is questionable, secretive, clandestine. That is one thing which I want to say. Now the good part of this transit is that definitely guys, let's say for example, if you are in a bhakti yoga, this could be a good transit for you. If you are in a business of import export, this could be a good transit for you. If you work in a adult industry, this could be a very good transit for you. So again, it comes down to individual, but overall caution and care is needed, because you are filled with energy and you are being overwhelmed by manipulative thoughts with Rahu in your 5th house, and this entry of Venus might drive you or misguide you. The energy of that is more prone and more strong. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Sagittarius rising natives. So guys, in your case, definitely Venus is going to be getting strengthened in your 11th house. So one thing is for sure, that you have to remain very respectful towards females. Females will definitely contribute a lot during this time. This could be financially, this could be connecting some dots, this could be putting a positive word in your favor at your workplace. So again guys, when it comes down to 11th house, people have a different notion. See, what we say as pure finance, that is your 2nd house. 11th house, I would say, is a house of success, whatever contributes to your success. This could be a case for you to get into a job which is more than 200% hike from your current package. So what this person did was that this person connected the dots via putting a word for you. So you cannot undermine the contribution of this person. So that all these things are connected with the 11th house. Whatsoever is needed for you to climb the ladder of success, the way you talk, the way you conduct, the way people perceive you, what kind of people you know, so everything, that is 11th house. So females during this time will definitely play a very important role. Second thing is that, let's say for example, from the past couple of months, you have worked hard, you have proven yourself, and you have been in such a high pressure job or in such a competitive situation where you performed good. So 6th house lord getting strengthened in the 11th house is a time of recognition. So you have done your part, you have done your bit. Now is the time for you to reap the appreciation, recognition, and accolades connected with your hard work. So yes guys, and definitely I always say this thing, if a planet is getting strengthened in the 11th house or the second house, so and if your line of work is also connected with it, you are dealing with the cosmetic products, you're dealing with the musical instruments, anything to do with the female products or photography, acting, performing arts and all, so definitely more auditions, more opportunities, more financial rewards. So overall it's a good transit for the Sagittarius rising natives. Moving ahead guys, for the Capricorn Lagna natives, definitely guys, in your case Venus becomes your Yog Karaka planet. So like the way I'm looking at the transit, during this time Jupiter is going to be aspecting it from your 4th house, and your ascendant lord is already strengthened in the like 2nd house, and moreover your 11th house is in a very accentuated state with Mars being over there, with Sun being over there. So overall guys, during this year Venus is definitely forming some important yoga. So my recommendation to the Capricorn Lagna native is that, let's say for example in your line of work, if you are planning to initiate something, restructure something, so this is a very good time for that. And also guys, I always say this thing, that whenever Venus is transiting from the 1st house, from the 5th house, and from the 10th house and the 11th house, so 1st, 5th, 10th, 11th, it's a good time to advertise yourself. It's a very good time to market yourself, because people will definitely perceive your charm, your magnetism, your allure, and we are living in a day and age of marketing, advertising only. So it's a very good time for that. So definitely guys, at your line of work, and because in your case Venus has got a rulership over your 5th house as well, so do not let any idea get suppressed during this time. Any idea which is coming to your mind, it might actually turn into something very big as well. So 5th house lord getting strengthened in the 10th house in itself represents that only. Anything which is not falling in line and you have some better idea, execute it, implement it during this time. That is all what I can say. The good part is that Venus is a planet of relationship as well. So even if you are trying to act as a black sheep, I'm very much sure that you will be able to convince your team as well. You will be able to convince your bosses as well. And definitely guys, during this time, if you have to give any performance, any of the public speaking, so you will be able to do very good over there as well. So overall guys, it's a very good transit of good relationship management and impressing people with your conduct, with your achievements, with your accomplishment. That is all what I can say. And for all those people who are freelance, self-employed, or out of work, landing at a job, finding some lucrative job, or let's say for example, many times people get treated with, pampered with luxury as well. So let's say for example, from the past couple of because Venus was debilitated before, so from the past couple of months you have been working till late hours, with no time for your family life. So suddenly your company will start sending you or putting you in a projects where you have more time to relax, where you have more time to experience luxury and all of that. So that can also materialize for certain professionals as well. Now guys, for all the Aquarius rising natives, so guys, in your case, definitely Venus becomes very important. It is your Yog Karaka planet. So guys, because now Venus is going to getting strengthened in your 9th house, it is a very good indication. First of all, any of the travels during this time will prove to be very successful, very profitable. Now this could be work related travel, this could be any of the pilgrimages. If you're gonna plan with your family, that will prove to be very profitable. Second thing is that guys, like when we talk about the role which 4th house plays, so that also tells about our residing area, our abode. So I would say this thing that due to any reason, this could be a case that for long you have been planning to initiate the process of buying your own home, or this could be that the company where you work, now they are thinking or considering to shift you to a different branch. So any of those shift or adjustment which is gonna happen at your residing place, at your workplace, they will also prove to be very, very motivating, very elevating, or very profitable for you in long term. Third thing is that guys, definitely, as you know this thing, that all sort of guidance, mentorship which comes to us, it comes to us from the 9th house. So it's a very good time that whatsoever will be given to you in the form of the piece of advice or wisdom, this could come from your bosses, this could come from your father, this could come from your teachers, father like figures, it will serve you for long term. So overall guys, it's a very religiously, spiritually elevating time. And let's say for example, if you're professionally operating in the domain of the ninth house, you are a teacher, you are a trainer, you are a tutor, you are in immigration business, you are in a travel and tour business, so definitely Venus's strengthened state in the ninth house will prove to be very profitable for you. And lastly guys, for all the Pisces Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, Venus has got a rulership over your third house, and now it is going to get strengthened in its own sign in your eighth house. So beyond doubt guys, if you are professionally operating in the domain of the eighth house, anything to do with the investment banking, anything to do with the revenue, insurance, occult fields, adult industry, definitely it is going to benefit you, it is going to reward you. Second thing is that guys, as you know this thing, that your third house lord is now going in your eighth house, but the good part over here is that your ascendant lord Jupiter is aspecting it from the second house. So it is also a very good indication or a very good news for all those people who stand a chance or who are going through any of the concerns in the joint resources, joint asset related concerns, any of the concerns of inheritance related issue, any of the disputed property, family property related concern and all. So clarity over there, clearance over there will be experienced by lot many Pisces Lagna native during this time. And lastly guys, as you know this thing, that third house which also tells about your performing arts and all. So let's say for example, if you are engaged in these fields, let's say for example you are like researching something which has to do with life and death, which has to do with the paranormal activities, which has to do with kind of unraveling or exposing something. So I would say this thing, that with your third house lord getting strengthened in the eighth house, Mars Sun in your ninth, Jupiter in the second house, so in all of your these brave, I don't want to use the word audacious, but all these fearless kind of endeavors, this strengthened state of Venus in your 8th house will definitely benefit you. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page.